Hi buddy, and good Wednesday evening to you. It is the Valley's most in-depth weather forecast video. We call it Weather for Weather Geeks. And today, we were kind of due for a day like today, right? After a couple of just fantastic days, Monday and Tuesday, it's kind of the price of admission when you have, or the cost of doing business, I should say. When you have a couple of really nice days in early March, you're going to pay the piper at some point, and today was that day. Now, it's really been just kind of a drip and drab kind of a day. The rain's been pretty light, and it only added up to 0.06 at the Youngstown Warren Airport. We saw some locally higher amounts, but generally speaking, just light, chilly rain showers all day today. Now, the rain is going to taper off to drizzle over the next couple of hours as we head through the 7 and 8 o'clock hours. Be watching for possibly the reemergence of some fog tonight, and the cooler air has settled to the south and east. Now, as expected, we did have a temperature gradient across our viewing area today. We were in the 40s just about all day in northern Trumbull, northwestern Mercer, but south and east of into the area, closer to Lisbon, closer to East Liverpool, Elwood City, Newcastle, Grove City, places like that. It was actually in the 50s for a chunk of the day before the cooler air finally bled to the south and east this afternoon. Now, we did have some fog last night and this morning, and we'll be on the lookout for this again tonight. The atmosphere is pretty saturated in the lowest levels, of course, and so even though the visibility as of 7:08 is generally fine throughout the area, we are starting to see some fog formation up towards Jamestown along I-86 in western New York, and I can't rule out some fog around our TV viewing area overnight. Otherwise, clouds are going to stick around, but I'll tell you, things are going to turn a lot better by Thursday afternoon. With the sun coming out, we'll get back into the 50s, and that'll set the stage for a pretty clear night, followed by clouds thickening up on Friday. Now, this model is pretty aggressive with the rain on Friday, suggesting that it's raining already at midday in Lima and Columbus and Athens, maybe a little fast. I actually don't think around our viewing area the rain's likely to push in until probably just after sunset. So this looks a little fast to me at 3 o'clock in the afternoon Friday to have showers already pushing in. That goes against a lot of the other modeling at this point. Bottom line for Friday, I do think that a lot of the day is just fine, but as we get closer to evening, those shower chances will start to increase. Certainly the rain chances will be higher then for Friday night and heading into the day on Saturday. Steadies to the rain Saturday, maybe in the afternoon, but just plan on a pretty soggy Saturday overall, and then kind of a one-day shot of cooler weather in time for the return of daylight saving time. We lose an hour of sleep, unless you're an overnight shift worker, of course. But for the rest of us who will be sleeping Saturday night into Sunday morning, 2 o'clock becomes 3 o'clock, and it's a good time of the year, of course, to check your batteries and your smoke detectors, carbon monoxide detectors. And the biggest change on Sunday, for most people, the biggest perceived change will be the daylight at the end of the day. Now, it's going to be a pretty cloudy day Sunday, but our new sunset will be at 7:24. That new sunrise Sunday morning at 7:41. And for the next couple of weeks, those heading off to work and school early in the morning will notice it's a lot darker, but it's pretty temporary, of course, because we're gaining over 2.5 minutes of daylight per day at this time of the year, and so we'll have 7 o'clock and earlier sunrises again before you know it, as we go into late March and April. 21 WFMJ, always a proud sponsor of the Mahoning Valley St. Patrick's Day Parade coming up on Sunday. The weather's never great for this, it seems like. Now, our background picture here, I don't remember what year this was. It looks pretty chilly, but at least the sun was out. Not much sunshine this year on Sunday, though. And you'll notice we have some snowflake icons for the first time in a while. Not expecting a lot out of this, but yeah, there's going to be some flurries around, along with a cold, gusty wind and wind chills mostly in the 20s. Now, in the snowbelts of far northeast Ohio, northwest PA, and western New York, I mean the prime snowbelts. Could someone see a few inches out of this up towards Erie, Jamestown, maybe some of the areas around Buffalo and western New York? Yeah, it's going to be possible, and I think they'll do really well up towards the Tug Hill Plateau in northern New York, Green and White Mountains in Vermont, New Hampshire, and up into Maine. They'll do pretty well over the next handful of days. But yeah, in our local viewing area, not really expecting much in the way of accumulation. Just a reminder on Sunday that it is still early March. It can still get cold at this time of the year. Weather for next week, though, at least the first half of the week, looks pretty good. I think we'll string together 3 pretty nice, at least partly to at times mostly sunny days, Monday, Tuesday, and into Wednesday as well. The longer range, not many changes to our thoughts here. Now, this is today's 8 to 14 day outlook from the Climate Prediction Center. You'll notice the dates that this covers, the 14th through the 20th. I think right through about St. Patrick's Day, which of course is the 17th, we're going to be in this mild pattern, with the exception of a day here and there like we'll have on Sunday. The pattern change is probably right around St. Patrick's Day, or maybe just after. So maybe at the tail end of this 8 to 14 day outlook, some colder air really starts to settle in. And so while this looks like a warm map, remember this covers a week-long period, and towards the end of this week-long period, I think that colder air is going to start pushing in. Now, again, reminder that the tail end of March is not like the tail end of January. A colder pattern does not mean we're into the deep freeze and there'll be all sorts of snow opportunities and things like that. But I do think the pattern during the last 10 days, 12 days of March will be distinctly different than the front 16, 17 days of the month, and going back all the way, of course, through much of meteorological winter. That'll do it for me tonight on the Weather for Weather Geeks. Thanks as always for watching. I'll see you back here, same time, same place on Thursday.